you're not really producing because you never learn how to abide. Oh God. You never learn to abide. The way that you abide in God is you got to let him get on the inside of you and make your temple a safe place where he can live. I hear somebody in the spirit saying, God, I want that. Who is it on the broadcast? Who's literally saying, God, I want that. I want that. I hear you in the spirit. I hear you saying right now to God, Lord, I want you to live in me. I want your presence in me. And I want it in such a way where I'm going to operate in understanding, the spirit of understanding. The spirit of understanding will tell you, hang up the phone. Don't have that conversation. I heard you, Anaya, in the spirit. The spirit of the Lord will tell you, don't call them. Don't talk to them about that. Don't engage in that conversation. The spirit of the Lord will tell you, run. They don't mean you no good. Thank you, Nehemiah. Let me give you Bible. Let's go to John 15, verse 7. Your homework is John 15. Go study that. I literally have memorized that entire chapter. That was the first chapter of the Bible I memorized when I got saved at 19 years old. I memorized the whole book of John chapter 15 because I tell you, John 15 is for every Christian to live by. It says, if you abide in me and my words abide in you, then you shall ask what you will and it shall be done unto you. Your prayers are not being answered because you have not learned to abide. When you abide, then you can ask. You've got to abide before you ask. Who is the Holy Ghost speaking to? You see, we got a bunch of wimpy punk Christians that don't want to abide, and you got all these reasons. I don't care if you feel too guilty to come before God. I don't care if you don't feel clean enough to come before God. He said you got to abide. That means you got to live in. But then you don't have no understanding. You don't know what it is that God is asking of you. You don't know how to honor God. You don't know how to please God. You mad that God not hearing you when you pray. You mad because you prayed and you're not getting no answers. And you're mad because your business is failing. And all the things God showed you, all the prophecies that was given to you not coming to pass. Why? Because you're lacking the spirit of understanding. Understanding says that when I get prophecy, I go to take the prophecy and I go bring it to God and I say, what do I do with this? And then the Lord can begin to tell you, war over it. Yes, Shana Mahoya. I need somebody to go in the chat and say, war over it. W-A-R, war over it. You see, all of us get a word of prophecy and we get so excited because the word of prophecy has come forth. But then after about a week or two and nothing happens, you tend to get weary. You feel like maybe they prophet lied to you. No, baby, they didn't lie to you. Prophecy is contingent on you doing your part. You literally have to war over it in prayer. God not just going to do it because they told you. God's going to do it when your heart is aligned in the right posture to receive it. Somebody could prophesy and say, God say he's going to give you a new car. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't particularly care for them types of prophecies, but there's nothing wrong with it. But you don't go to the dealership. You don't go pick out a car. You don't go and check your credit. You don't go and see if you could get approved. You're just sitting there waiting for somebody to walk up to your front door with keys and say, here, God told me to give this to you. Now listen, God can do that. But if you war over the prophecy in prayer, God can tell you what dealership to go through. God can tell you what car he's giving you. Do y'all hear me today?